Okay, we're going to start over. Welcome to Saturday Training. Today is August 25th, and my name is Luann Pecorelli, and I live in Orem, Utah. And we're going to share some successes. Who is excited about what's going on in the Relive business, and who'd like to come on and share?
I'm always happy to jump in. I always wait for somebody else.
Oh, good, Lauren. I was hoping you would.
Oh, you're so sweet. I actually had something fun happen yesterday worth sharing. I brought some products for a gal that I work with, and I texted her just confirmation of, when and where we were going to meet up. And she says, I'm not at work today. And I went, well, I don't want to lug this can all the way back to my car. I'm going to get rid of it today. And so, sure enough, I texted a friend that had kind of been wavering, and kind of finances were difficult. And so I said, hey, here's this opportunity. It's right here, right now. And he said, all right, let's do it. So I'm excited for that. So I'm also going to bring another can next Tuesday for the other gal, but fun for that. And then I went downstairs to go meet up and drop the can off to the friend. And then another gal goes, I've been meaning to talk to you about that stuff. So I was texting her a little bit more about what exactly she was looking for, and didn't have a chance to get her on a call yet. But I just said, what was it that made you decide to speak up? What made you reach out? What interests you? And she just, made some very nice compliments about my positivity and just my, if I believe in something so much, then it's worth looking into. And I just thought that was a really neat comment that, she trusts me, it's my excitement, it's my passion, and that meant a lot to me. So pretty fun, and excited to see where that goes with her.
That's awesome, Lauren, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. That was her belief in you, not necessarily your product, but you and your positivity, and you asked a question, what made her interested in that, in what you have, what you do, and she's interested in you. And so, that's awesome. And the other thing I like about what you said is take Relive with you. I mean, how many times do we think about always taking it with us? I mean, I usually have capsules in my purse, but, take it with us. I love that. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. Anyone else want to share?
Good morning, Luann. This is Jim in Portland.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, just real quick, we've been doing this for a long time, and we've always said that the goal is to get people results, not just to sell them product. And we had a gentleman call, who'd been off the product for a good 4 or 5 years, and his son is dealing with mono, and he calls up out of the blue and says he wants to get some product for his son, and who knows where that will take us. But fact is, he remembered how good they felt when they were on the product. That's what he stated, so that's why he called. So that's the key, get people results, and even if they fall off for whatever reason, they usually will come back at some point.
That's really true. Thank you, Jim. Yes, results, that is exactly what it's about. Help them to fall in love with, the products and the results that they get. I mean, that's really the key. So it's not the selling of the product. It is helping people get results. And so thank you, Jim. Appreciate you sharing. Anyone else? Should I hear someone maybe thinking about it there a little bit? Well, I'm not going to mute the line, so if you will *6 and mute yourself, and if you have any comments, go ahead.
Good morning. This is Candy Sopko.
Yeah, hey, Candy, good morning.
Thank you for hosting. I'm hosting today a Lunch and Learn, and we have been promoting all month long. It takes time and effort to really promote something positive to help people understand how they can have better health and have something to hand out for them to make a decision We have about 9 solid RSVPs and could be as many as 12 to 14. So this is our first Lunch and Learn, and we've already planned next month for a brunch earlier on a Saturday. We found Saturday morning or the lunchtime is better than evening. Most people have kids in school, they're tired, and I've tried different ones, and the daytime works really well.
Awesome, Sandy. That's really good. And I like what you said, promote. It's really true. We have to promote what we're doing, and that's one of the keys, as well as getting people results. And so, well, congratulations. You'll have to let us know how it goes today. And Saturday brunches, I think that sounds exciting. Anyone else like to share? Okay, well, like I said, you know, as we go through this training, if you have something to interject, you know, please feel free. It's not my training, it's our training. It belongs to all of us, and hopefully we all learned something today. And like I mentioned, you know, it's a basic training. We do it. We keep it simple. It's the same training as we do all the time, maybe just a little different slant on it from each person that does it, but basically it is the same. And, you know, if you're new to the training today, great. Is there anyone that's new today? You can type in the chat box and say, I'm new, I'm here for the first time. And that's why we do these trainings, so that you can see how simple Relive is. If you're not new and you've been on the training, I can hear someone. Could you, everyone, check and mute their phones? Hit *6. Okay, thank you. And so we have complex products, and they deliver results. But it is a simple business, and it's easily duplicated. So if you've been on many trainings and you're not new, great also. We love to have you and the experience that you have. But, you know, it's always good because we need to stay plugged into Relive and to help others to, you know, help others to keep falling in love with Relive and what Relive does, and, you know, makes us happier people. We feel better. There's so many benefits to being in the Relive company. And so this training is not new, like I said, and I hope that you gain a few things from it that will help you to move your business forward. And so with that being said, I'm going to go back here just a second. When I was first introduced to Relive, I was interested in the products. I needed to stay well. I'm allergic to chemicals, and my dermatologist said it was so bad that if I sprayed hairspray, I should run out of the room. And so for over 12 years, Relive helped me stay well. And even when I found I had a serious heart problem, my body makes too much cholesterol, and my doctor told me no matter what I did, no matter what I ate, nothing would make a difference. I take no medications, but I've learned how to use the Relive products for my needs. And with Fit3, I lost 13 pounds. I've kept it off for over a year now. I love Fit3. My cholesterol has dropped. It does matter what you do. Put Relive in your body, and it does matter. My cholesterol dropped 136 points. My triglycerides dropped 103. That tells you they were pretty high. My HDL went up 7, and my cholesterol ratio went from a high 8.6 to 5.9. Normal is 5.1. That was in February of this year. So I truly believe the Purify made a huge difference in my cholesterol situation. I also believe I didn't have a heart problem. I had a liver problem that actually contributed to the heart problem. So to say these products have delivered results for me is an understatement. And these are just my latest results. But what I'm amazed at is Relive keeps delivering after being on it for over 12 years. And what I know is as we age, we never know what our health is, where it will take us. But what I know is we're better with Relive than without it. I avoided surgery for over 12 years, and I was told surgery was my only option. I have no pain, take no medications, and I really will forever be grateful to my friend that told me about Relive. My husband and I owned an automotive business, and so I knew I could purchase products at wholesale. I purchased a master affiliate order to have my own health food store in my basement. I knew I could use it for food storage, and I wasn't going to the health food store anymore, so that was my main goal of really purchasing that larger order. But I was excited about Relive. I shared with my family, my friends, people we did business with, vendors, customers, sales reps, others that I came in contact with, and a business was born for me. When you have a product that delivers results, that's the making of a fantastic business. I earned trips to Malaysia, Hawaii, and a Disney cruise just by helping people, and it really went to my heart. And people went from getting tired to having energy, better golf games, their feet didn't hurt anymore, families with sick children. Jim mentioned a friend with mono. That was one of the issues that this family I shared with, their daughter had mono and got great results. And the family had a lot of OCD issues, and, I've also helped people with brain tumors, knee issues, immune issues. Just lately I got a call from my friend, and she said her stepson had sores all over his body, and there were no answers. Doctors had no answers. And being consistent on the Relive, the sores are gone. And, there's so many results that happen when you put Relive in your body. One of the really amazing people that I helped was a 90-year-old woman that was in a fetal position. She wasn't eating, she wasn't drinking, and her daughter actually spooned Relive in her mouth. And in a week, she was up and making her own shakes, and everybody wanted to know what her daughter gave her. We make no claims that Relive will cure any disease. But what happens when our bodies get the best nutrition in the synergistic balance of the body? Our body, in the synergistic balance, our body will perform miracles. And I truly believe that. And again, like I said, we make no claims for cures, but when we feed our body properly until the problem is no more. That's the beauty of Relive. The only person in charge of my Relive income is me. And the more people I help get what they want and what they need, the more my Relive business grows. And we all have this same opportunity. So, can we succeed with Relive with products that work like that? How many new people are you going to tell about Relive? Because that's really the key. We could stop the training right here. That's as simple as it gets. Go tell new people about Relive. New people build your Relive business. We have the best company. We have corporate support. They're always coming out with new things. There's the Girlfriend's Getaway going on this week. And we can do these things too. We can have girlfriend getaways. We can do whatever we choose. And we have that corporate support. And it's all about simple daily activities to be successful. So, when my husband was in the hospital with leukemia, my check came every month, and that's because the system works. I was spending every day in the hospital. I had a lot of encouragement from distributors, and our automotive business was closed, so those checks stopped. But my Relive check did not. And even in the hospital, there were new people to teach about Relive, and I did. So you can do Relive anywhere. So, okay, there are some steps we can talk about. ISCAR and follow-up. This is what makes Relive simple, and it keeps it simple because if you see this, it's a circle. It's not a straight line. It's a circle, and you just do it over and over and over. You develop relationships with your friends. You learn more about your clients that you're talking to, and the more you learn about your clients and your friends, you'll be successful in your Relive business. Sometimes we think we have to study so much about the products, but really we need to study people, because people are, it's that new people that we need to help our business grow. And so the more we learn about our friends, our clients, the people we come in contact with, the faster our businesses will grow. And because you'll know their needs and you'll know how Relive can help them. So if you have the question of what to do each day, here's the plan, and then you repeat it. And these are just the fundamental steps. It's identify, connect, share the story, ask the questions, ask for a decision, and register and go. Pretty simple. But one key, there's action. You have to do it. So let's talk about identify. The slide here says start with 10 prospects and 10 that maybe you think need the business, 10 that you think maybe could use the product. I think everyone can use the products, and probably everybody could use the business, really, to make extra income. So, you start with 10, but make a goal to make at least a list of 200 names and not just 20. And then we have, who we're going to contact. New people. We find, making our list, maybe it's new people on the list, family, friends, friends of your friends. Who would you like to invite to a wedding? The person you meet at the store. My mother ended up in a rehab center, and there were people there. I listened. I'm going to go back, but I have not done this yet. But I listened because as the conversations went on, I could hear where Relive was going to meet their needs. One talked about her child, and the child was struggling with some learning issues and a little ADD. And one of the nurses came in, and he said that he had just taken several ibuprofens, and so he had pain. And so, listen. You can hear all kinds of ways to identify people that you can talk to about Relive. So think of everyone that you do business with or that you come in contact with, and write it down. Make your list. And then write down why you thought of each person. Like this one had pain. The other one, the child needed help. So just write those things down. And then who are you going to contact today? My mother was one of the first people that I put on the Relive products. And to be honest, I had no idea her only kidney would improve and that she would avoid dialysis. But her doctor said, and these were his exact words, because her nutrition improved, her kidney improved. And at 92, her kidney is still functioning. And she's not living the life my father died from. He was on dialysis for years, many complications. So when you identify those you want to share Relive with, identify those that are well also, not just people that need the products for illnesses. Everyone deserves better nutrition, and they can all have a better life. Prevention is the key to avoiding disease. So identify those that may need extra income or a new business. Why did you think of them? This helps you when you contact them. I thought of you because. So after we identify people, what are we going to do? We're going to connect with them. So we're going to set an appointment. This is very important. Setting an appointment is the most important thing you're going to do. It might be when you're connecting, you're going to do a phone appointment. You might set an official appointment, however it works, and you'll know as you're talking to the person that you're contacting. So contact at least 5 daily. So your initial contact, will help you find the need or the want of the person that you're talking to. And basically, it's like Lauren said, she has excitement. She has excitement written all over her face, and I think it's awesome. And it does. It shows. And so my excitement is probably not going to show on my face the way Lauren's does, and that's okay. Everybody's excitement shows in different ways, but you can all, we can be excited about what we're doing, how we're sharing, And that's the real key, believe in what we have and share that excitement. So when you talk to them and you're talking to your friend, what you originally thought may change. Sometimes when I make a list, I put down what I think, but then as I talk to my friend, they may say something that changes everything the way I thought. And so that's the direction I'll go. And they may not know that Relive is needed or even wanted when you first start connecting with them. So you develop that relationship and you help them to fall in love with you. It's like Lauren's friend said, it was a belief in her and her positivity. And that's what we want, because we know these products work. And when people fall in love with you, they want to do business with you. That kind of relationship isn't based on just products or a service. It's based on you and your belief and what they're seeing that is in your life. So you create that eager desire that that person will want what you have. And that's what happened. That's what I heard when Lauren shared that today. So developing strong relationships is very important, and not what you're marketing. The relationship will result in more yeses than just the product. So when we're talking to people and we're connecting with them, we learn their strengths, we learn their interests, their goals, their needs. We focus on them, and the conversation will lead us to where we know Relive will help them, but it will be their idea because you're guiding that process. So, you can ask them if they'd like some information for what you're talking about, or would they be willing to, learn about it. Some people say when you use the word interested, would you be interested? It triggers the brain to say no. I was just reading that lately, and I thought that was interesting. But by connecting with some of my friends that originally needed the product, they've told me that they need tax write-offs, which led into the Relive business discussion. And that was not something that I ever thought about. So after connecting, I like to send a video or something that was talked about when I've been talking to them with that initial connection. So sometimes I send emails to verify, what was discussed. Clarification is always good. It's another follow-up, even in the beginning of building the relationship. So, and the emails and that, you can verify the appointment. So emails, videos, it verifies the company tools that we have to validate what we have been talking about and that connection that we're making. Opening sentences, I really believe that your opening sentence will come very naturally when you're effectively developing the relationship with that friend. I started a conversation the other day with a couple waiting to when I was getting my oil changed, and I was just talking to them. I listened to them talk for quite a while, and they were talking about gardening, and they were talking about, different things like that. And so I just asked them about their garden, and from that conversation, I found out that he had MS. He was sitting there in a wheelchair. I couldn't tell exactly what was going on, but he volunteered the information, and his friend was very interested in nutrition, and, so they were raising their own gardens and things. And John felt he'd done everything right. He'd gone with no sugar, he was trying to eat healthy, and he said, and I still have MS. And I asked if I could help him fill in the gap of what he was trying to do. And if I could do that, would he be willing to meet my friend that had results with MS? And he said yes. And then we talked about technology, the good and the bad. He was concerned about his son with technology. And that led to the discussion to let me show him my friend on YouTube and So now I just need to follow up and see what his thoughts are. So I'm not a person a lot of times that will just jump into a conversation. I usually wait to be invited. And, but in this case, I just kind of invited myself into this conversation, and it was a pleasant conversation. And, a consultant that we used in our automotive business once said, whenever you're communicating with someone, expect to be misunderstood, because then you'll be more deliberate on what you say. And I've thought about that a lot and that's why I like to follow up with emails and that type of thing, because even though we're having a good conversation, sometimes things can be misunderstood. So you'll know what those opening sentences should be when you're developing that relationship. And the stronger the relationship, the easier the opening sentence will be. So we share the story. We share the whole story. At this point, I have not shared the whole story with John. That will be my next step, just following through, just like the training says. And I'll share my story if it applies. But if another story applies, I'll use it, because it's not about me. It's about what John wants and what John needs. Sometimes I've helped people with relive, and they never do know my story because it didn't apply at that particular time. It may later, but, that's not my first thing that I actually jump in with. So we have many tools for presentations, and some we may not have ever used. But I'm going to show John, a presentation. I can do it by webinar. I can do an online training. Whatever applies, I can meet with John. Whatever works that John can see that Relive will meet his needs. It's not, you have to think about this. People are our business. We have the best products, but people really are our business. The products are the vehicle to help people. People believe a lesson they see and feel more than a lesson that they just hear. So it's that feeling, it's that seeing, and I test this occasionally because when I call someone on the phone, I'll say, this is Luann Pecorelli, and then I'll ask my question or whatever, and they'll go, they'll start answering, and they'll go, and who is this? So people don't always hear it, but they will feel it, and they will feel when they see. So, there's many ways that we can do presentations, the lunch and learn like Sandy's doing. But, we share the whole Relive story because we never know where their heart or their belief will connect. And always introduce them to other Relive stories. So, this is another part of just sharing the Relive story. We help people engage, and that engage is an amazing word. We need to have them engage. In the Relive meetings that we do in events at my home, I find the most successful ones are when the people are really engaging rather than you just give a presentation. In-home parties, there's so many things we can do. Webinars, conference calls, our upline, introducing them to sidelines, whoever, that connection is. And you don't have to know it all. You be honest and you use the Relive built-in system. I connected and I thought I did it all right. And I found out that I should have done something just a little differently. And so, Relive is about personal growth, and I've had a lot of personal growth in Relive and people skills and all those things. And so my friend said to me, well, I would just like my husband to be out of pain. So I thought, okay, my next follow-up call with her, they were debating whether to start on product or whatever. I will connect her with someone that was out of pain. So I set this call up with Jim Shaban, and it was all ready to go. And I called her on the phone, wasn't sure if I would get her. And so she answered. And I said, do you have a minute? And she said, I have a minute. But prior to that, she said she was in Florida with her brother, but he'd had a heart attack. Now, in my mind, I was thinking that she was there, but I didn't realize because I didn't ask too many questions. She told me how he was, and then I just was so excited about connecting her with Jim to help her to see that her husband could be out of pain. I didn't ask enough questions. And so she said she had a minute, so I connected to Jim, and she said, oh, I can't do this right now because I'm at the hospital. So she had a minute for me, but not to learn about how to get her husband out of pain that I was focusing on. So, sensitivity, connecting, there's so many things to people skills. And so later I sent her a text because I felt bad. It was just bad timing. And I sent her a text and asked how her brother was doing. He's doing good. And so we'll connect again later. But we learn so many things. And, be honest and use the Relive system and apologize if it's needed. So, we can, we have many ways to share the story, Relive website, mobile app, and then once we have shared, these with the tools that we have or however we do it, it's important to ask for a decision and be prepared to do business. Like Lauren said, she had product with her. She was prepared, and even though it didn't work out with the person that she thought she was going to meet, it worked out with someone else. And so it's plan A, plan B. But be prepared. If you've developed the relationship well, your client will be asking you to do business with you. And that's exactly what happened with Lauren, too. So my friend from high school called me and said, what's the best thing for me to do? Well, I knew her financial situation, and she wanted product for her daughter, her husband, and a friend. And so she went in as a quick start, and we talked about doing business together. And I was advising her. I was helping her to know what products to order for the need that she was telling me about, but I wasn't selling her. And, she was on her computer. The computer worked best for her. And so, know the easiest process for your client to order. Is it their form? Do they want to call on the phone, call with them? Be ready to help them register, order, however it works. Relive has it all in place, and it's a very simple process. Just more on asking for a decision, where to get started. Like I mentioned, I helped my friend to know about which products that were going to meet her concerns. I did ask questions, and I did listen to what she was needing. And, you keep it simple because that's important. We have a lot of products, but, those basic core products, people get amazing results on the core products. And then if there is a specific need, you can jump into those targeted solutions. But, and you look for ways that you can save, and that's exactly what she wanted. And then who do you know who can benefit from the Relive products? My friend already, her daughter had already talked to someone about them because she got amazing results on the products. So they were ordering for that person also. So where would you like to get started? In my friend's case, she decided to do the quick start. My other friend, she decided she wanted that tax write-off, and so she went master affiliate. She decided she needed the Relive business for that purpose. And so, they came to a conference, and they saw so much more at a conference than even the months that I had been working with them over the phone, and I had done a presentation previously. But in the beginning, they didn't see the Relive business as a benefit. They started on the product. They were happy with the discount that they got when they started. But then when they went to a conference, they saw so much more. And she said, I need that tax write-off. And I said, okay, let's plan out this master affiliate order. So at lunch, that's exactly what we did. And with my other friend, I showed her, when she ordered the product for her friend, then I showed her what her profit would be at that 25%. And I also told her, she had billing forms in her distributor kit, and she could fill it out. We calculated the tax and showed her how to do all that on the computer. And so, helping them to get started in their business and answer their questions, that they become successful. So another quote from my automotive consultant, he had some wise quotes. If you want to be more profitable, do a better job communicating what your customer is buying and the unique value that you're going to receive doing business with you, that they're going to receive doing business with you. So my master affiliate friend always calls me to help her with orders, teach others, and, because we have that relationship, she knows she can call me anytime. And so, everyone's needs are a little bit different. But once you get them registered and they're going, you follow up. You follow up with the consumers. You help them, with their product. You continue to educate them. It's always important to continually educate them. It's like Jim said, get the results. And through the education and the success, that's how the results are delivered. It's results with the business and the products. And the products always work if they're taken consistently. The business works if we share it consistently. And we also help move those people that we've registered to move forward by doing the follow-up. And, how are they taking their shakes? Are they consistent? What results are they seeing? And, we give that customer service for success. And we go beyond customer service. We teach, we educate, and then your customer will give you referrals. And if they go off the product, like Jim said that person did, they do come back. That's I've seen that many times too. And so stories paint the picture. You're not just going to call them and say, are you being consistent? That gets to be a little annoying. Have someone there that talked about how hard it was for them to become consistent, maybe why, have that story, in your story bank, consistency, and you can connect them to that so that you're painting the picture for your friend as you teach. I keep notes in my phone of the people I connect to and the conversation. It helps me to set up the next teaching tool. And sometimes it's not the products that is the note in my phone. It might be consistency. It might be something that they said, that was completely different than product or business, but I want to address their concerns. It might be that they want to know, I don't have time, and so I don't have time to be consistent with my shakes. So you need to help them to figure out how to do this so that it works for them in their life. There's a lot of little things, and the stories can do that. So these are only guidelines. We use common sense and we meet the needs. Distributors, set them up to succeed. Just like I said, we help them to take action. We help them to figure out, how to charge a new customer, how to order, how to connect, who's going to be their first call, do it with them. We share the story, let's set our first appointment. But basically, it's starting the cycle over. We do the same things over and over. We review the basics of running the Relive business. How do I order? Walk them through that. I have one person, and I think she just thinks she can't do it. And so I walk her through it every time she calls me. But it's okay, because it's repetition, doing it over and over. And one of these days she'll just go, hey, I did it. And so registering people, websites. There's so much information that we need to keep continuing to educate people and teaching them how to be successful. And connecting them to distributor services, Relive. So many things that we can do, and reviewing the Relive system and just helping them where they're at, having that story that they need at the time. So Relive has many tools. We've talked about a lot of tools, and there's more and more coming out all the time. There's a lot of information on social media. Corporate's doing so much training to help us promote our businesses. And, it's just fun because it's something new all the time. And our responsibility is just keep up with it, I think. So many, many tools. I love the tools that we have. I love the pamphlets. I love my mobile app. There's just so much, but never before have we had as many tools as we do now. So the Relive system. We have a system. That Girlfriends Weekend's going on in Ohio. I saw, there's been some posts on that. They're going to be announcing the winning team, for the Fit 3 Challenge for the last 90 days. They've got workout. I saw that workout area today. It's outside. They've got their shakes set up, motivational speakers, and the tables were lovely. We can do this too. We can set up events like this in our area. I would challenge each one of us, let's do it. California, Robert and Lauren have Tom Pinnett coming September 7th and 8th. Check the Relive website for more events because, Tom said, get 100 people in a room. I'll come. So, what better promise is that? So let's work for that. There's so many things we can do, but the Relive system is there to support us. And there's that word, new people again. It takes new people. We need to introduce Relive to everyone, and that means new people. And then we have Relive Live coming up October 12th and 13th, 30-year celebration, Do you think it'll impact your business for years to come? Oh, I do, definitely. So plan on going to Orlando, and I've got my plans in the works. I can hardly wait. Another thing that's really important is, you develop your library of stories and you engage your team. You can use a notebook, whatever you're comfortable with. This is so easy. Do it however it works for you. And the important thing is that word action, and do it. So use a notebook, use your computer, use your phone. I love my phone. My phone connects with my computer. I keep all my contacts in my computer. I can type it in. It transfers to my phone. I can see what's going on. I got a call the other day from a distributor that I've done some work with, not connected to in any way. We've just become friends. And she asked me if I had helped anyone with the results of the brain tumor. And I said, yes, I actually had. And she said, do you know what products this person took? And so I thought of a couple I remembered, the core products. And then I went back in my notes, and yes, there were a couple more products. So I just made a copy of my notes and sent them to her. And so, we have a lot of resources that help us to help other people and to help us to build our stories and be, engaging with not only our own distributors and building and helping them, but others also. But the important thing is to stay engaged to what is going on, stay engaged to the trainings and to, I love that Quila does the call on Mondays and those trainings, and this Saturday training, and there's the webinar on Monday nights. We have so many things to stay engaged to and also engage our team. And so people are our key for success. So helping them to stay engaged is going to help them be successful also. And set goals. review the road to presidential. Where do you want to be next? Where are you now? Paint the picture for your team. Where do they want to go? I think so many times, and you've heard this, Bob Montgomery has said it, people forget how to dream. And we do. Life can become heavy. And so when you start dreaming again and you see yourself on that road to presidential and where you want to go, but write the goals down. After Quila's call about goals, and that's some months back, I wrote my list out, and it helps me to stay focused. It also, stretch their thinking. It helps me to stretch my thinking. So where will you go? And to build ambassadors, you care about your distributor. You keep people first. That's the main thing. Even in our automotive business, that was the key. I don't care what business you do, Relive, automotive, dental, engineer. It doesn't matter what kind of business you do or occupation you have. When you keep people first, that is the key to success. In our automotive business, we put little packages of little gifts for every holiday. We would make them, tie them up cute and everything that might have various things for their automobile in them. And we would leave them on the seat in a little treat. We always did that and got a lot of attention. I answered a question when Barb Verbanich was doing training a while back. I don't remember what the question was, but she sent me a can of Classic. Hey, how cool was that? That was really awesome. Thank you, Barb. I really appreciated that. But there's so many things we can do to make people feel important, and keeping them first, remembering their birth dates, and, helping them to feel of worth and value, because life does get heavy. And so, if we do that as Relive people, that draws people to us. And we make each person care and feel important about themselves. We care about our distributors. We show interest in them. We be concerned about them, and we help them get what they want. And I think that's the real key. We build loyal relationships. We paint the picture of becoming an ambassador. And, it's simple. We just do it over and over and over. We ask, we identify, we connect, we share the story, we ask for a decision, we register and go, and we follow up, and we make people feel important. And we find new people and make them feel important. And so who are we going to go out and find next? I thank you for being on training today. I hope that, you gained a little something from training, but like I said, it's a simple process. We just need to take action and duplicate.
Good job, Luann. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome job, Luann. We appreciate you.